OK Soundstage is proud to present A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. As we listen in upon Ebenezer Scrooge, he is sitting blissfully at his office desk, counting his well-earned savings. It's Christmas Eve again, and everyone is thinking Yuletide thoughts, except for miserly Mr. Scrooge.
3,500. Excellent. Only thing to be said for this season that's good. People feel obligated to pay their debts. Oh, wouldn't old Jacob Marley have been proud? 512. The money's piling up. I just love it.
Oh, it's cold out there. Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead for 7 years.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, 'tis more than usually desirable we should make some slight provisions for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. I support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Now, I'm a very busy gentleman. I bid you good afternoon. Begone! Out!
Very well.
Damn busybodies. Man can't get any work done. Now let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. 4006, 4012, 4015. Ah, such a lovely sound. Cratchit, you've had your coal for the day. You may have no more.
I'm begging your pardon, sir. I simply thought since it's Christmas Eve...
Since it's Christmas Eve, this would be a disastrous time for you, Cratchit, to find yourself without a position.
Oh, no, sir. Forgive me, sir. You're absolutely right.
You know, if you spent more time tending to your job, you wouldn't have time to feel the cold. Arrgh! Blast the whole situation. He'll want a feather bed and tea service next thing you know. Cratchit?
You called again, sir?
In future, Cratchit, I advise you to take less time in answering.
Yes, sir.
Secure this money in the safe, and mind you, be careful.
Yes, sir.
Be gone! Be gone, you miserable little beggars, before I give you something to really sing about. Don't you understand the King's English? Nothing to eat, and they sing of Christmas. Bah, humbug! I might as well close up shop for the night. We'll finish tomorrow.
Oh, but, sir, tomorrow is Christmas Day. I have a holiday tomorrow.
I suppose you'll want all day.
Oh, yes, sir. Pleases, sir. You see.
Never mind. It's Christmas. Oh, Lord, help us. The whole population is mad.
Let me help you with your coat.
Will you stop pestering me? I'm quite capable.
Oh, a very Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Christmas? Bah, humbug! If I could work my will, every fool who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. Bah, humbug!
Upon returning home, Scrooge closed the front door and locked himself inside. Double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Undressing into his sleeping gown, slippers, and nightcap, decided to sit down before the fire to take his gruel.
Ah, that's a beastly wind. I must have forgot to lock the cellar door. What was that? Could it be rats? What nonsense is this?
Ebenezer! Ebenezer Scrooge!
Don't you believe in knocking?
Would you have unbolted the door to let me enter, Ebenezer?
That door was bolted. Who are you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Oh, humbug.
You don't believe in me?
I do not.
Still, you must admit that you see me.
You might be nothing more than sour gruel I ate at supper. Oh, mercy. Dreadful apparition, why do you torment me?
Do you believe in me or not, Scrooge?
Yes, all right, I believe in you, I do. But why do you walk the earth and why are you here? You're bound with chains. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. Do you know the weight and the length of this strong coil you yourself bear? It is ponderous. O captive bound and double-ironed, not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet such was I. Look! This is the fate that awaits you.
What do you want from me, Spirit?
I am simply here to warn you that you still have a chance of escaping my dreadful fate. You must expect the visits now of 3 more ghosts.
I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope, Scrooge, to shun the path that I now tread. Expect the first tonight when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Expect the second, Ebenezer, upon the hour of 2. The third will appear when the last stroke of 3 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and for your own sake, man, you remember what has passed between us.
Humbug. Wait a minute. Where am I? Bah, how can I sleep with all this nonsense? I've got to get to bed. Spirits? Bah, humbug. I must have dozed off and had a nightmare.
The morning after.
When Scrooge awoke again, it was so dark that looking out of bed he could scarcely distinguish the transparent window from the opaque walls of his chamber. He was endeavoring to pierce the darkness with his ferret eyes when the chime of 1 came upon him.
Oh, where am I? Who did that? Can a man sleep? What is this?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. You have never seen the like of me before. Look upon me.
I'm not sure I see the like of you now, but I hear you.
So I've heard. You're the one who's too tight with a penny to buy yourself a pair of spectacles. Come and know me better, man.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
Touch my robe. Have you visited this dwelling before?
No. No, I'm certain that I haven't.
I thought as much.
Why are we here? These people mean nothing to me.
Know you not of the Cratchit family? The man who has slaved for you from dawn to dark these many years?
Bob Cratchit? Why, it's impossible. But they appear to be so happy. I paid Cratchit a wage of but 15 bob a week.
Their happiness lies in something apparently quite foreign to you.
And what might that be?
Love.
What is your keeping your father and your brother, Tiny Tim? God bless your heart, dear, how late you are. And how did Tiny Tim behave?
As good as gold and better. He told me coming home that he'd hoped the people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and he might be pleasant to let them remember that upon Christmas Day, who made lame beggars walk and blind men see?
Hurry, everybody. Our dinner is ready.
At last dinner was all done. The cloth was cleared, the hearth swept, and the fire all made up. The compound in the jug being tasted and considered perfect. Then all the Cratchit family drew around the hearth in what Bob Cratchit called a circle, meaning half of one. The fire sputtered and crackled noisily. All the while the spirit, and miserly Scrooge, not being seen, view the entire scene.
A Merry Christmas to all of us, my dears. God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
What's wrong with that boy, the tiny one?
I see a vacant seat in their chimney corner and a crutch, tenderly preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the excess population. Will you decide what men shall live, what men shall die? It may be that in the sight of heaven you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. Oh God, to hear the insect on the leaf pronouncing on the too much life among his hungry brothers in the dust.
KTKK, AM 630. We're talking Utah.
Farmer John's Coffee Service is pleased to announce that Castle Valais has opened in North Salt Lake a superb steak restaurant with a medieval decor and colorful furnishings that depict the days of knights who rescued damsels in distress. Castle Valais offers a royal menu featuring a Royal Courts prime rib, open for dinner only, 5 till 10 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, serving certified Angus beef, the world's finest, juicy and flavorful, with special in-house seasoning, sauces, and dressings, featuring Farmer John's 100% rich Colombian coffee.
We're here today conducting a few man-on-the-street interviews about New Year's. Excuse me, sir. Would you like to tell our listeners what your New Year's resolution is?
I don't have one.
Oh, come on. Everybody has a New Year's resolution.
Not me. I don't believe in New Year's.
You don't believe in New Year's?
Right. As far as I'm concerned, it's still 1977. Best year of my life.
Well, that explains the leisure suit.
Pure polyester, too. Really moves with me out on the dance floor. Man, do I love to disco.
Well, you know, things are a little different now than in 1977.
What are you talking about? I'm still a Gemini. I still have my mood ring, and I still never drive drunk or ride with a drunk driver.
I guess some things should never change. Make your New Year's resolution never to drive drunk or ride with a drunk driver. This safe holiday reminder brought to you by the Beer Institute, representing America's brewers.
What in the world? What is that? I think I'm losing my mind. The first spirit came upon the strike of one. There's nothing here but the moonlight. Oh, well, I must have dreamed it all. Go back to sleep. That's it. I'll just get some well-deserved rest.
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I said, I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What brought you here?
Your welfare.
Well, much obliged, but a good night of unbroken rest is what I most need, if you're so really concerned.
Rise and walk with me.
Oh, humbug. Forcing a fellow to leave his bed in the middle of the night.
Come.
But it's freezing cold, and not a decent stitch of clothing to warm these old bones.
Touch my hand, and you shall be upheld.
But I'm immortal. I'll fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the window and floated toward an open country road. With fields on either hand, the city had entirely vanished. Not a vestige of it was to be seen. The darkness and mist had vanished with it, for it was clear, cold, winter day with snow upon the ground.
Do you know this place?
Good heavens, I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
You recollect the way?
Remember it, I could walk it blindfolded.
They walked along the road, Scrooge recognizing every gate, post, and tree. Some shaggy ponies were seen trotting toward them with the boys on their backs. All these boys were in great spirits and shouted to one another, until the broad fields were so full of music that the crisp air laughed to hear it.
These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. Do you know of this warehouse door?
Know of it? I was apprenticed here.
Let us move throughout.
Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, Fezziwig alive again?
Oh, ho there! Ebenezer! Dick!
Scrooge's former self, now grown a young man, came briskly in, accompanied by his fellow apprentice. The ghost and Scrooge eagerly looked on.
Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Why, bless me, yes it is. There he is. He was very much attached to me, Dick.
Yo-ho, boys! No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. Hi-ho! Clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here. Hi-ho, Dick! Cheer up, Ebenezer!
Our time grows short. We must leave this place.
But Spirit, that's old Fezziwig. He was so gracious to us at a time when I crucially needed the employment. Just a little while longer, please.
No, we must go.
Again, the ghost showed Scrooge another past image of himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life. His face had not the harsh and rigid lines of later years, but it had begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. There was an eager, greedy, restless motion in his eye, which showed the passion that had taken root, and where the shadow of the growing tree would fall. He was not alone, but sat by the side of a fair young girl in a morning dress, in whose eyes there were tears, which sparkled in the light that shone out of the ghost of Christmas past.
It matters to you little. Another idol had displaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the way of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the chance of its sordid reproach. I have seen your noble ideals fall off one by one, until nothing matters to you but gold.
Well, what then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I am not changed toward you.
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until we could improve our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was but a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you were not what you are. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. It is enough that I have thought of it, and now can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
Well, in what then?
In the very things you worship. Tell me truthfully, if you were free now, would you choose a girl whose father left so little money?
Yes.
You may have the memory of what is past. What is past half makes me hope that you will change. Maybe experience pain like this. A very brief time, and you will dismiss the recollection of it as an unprofitable dream from which it happened well that you awoke. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Belle, don't leave me. Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me?
One shadow more.
No more. No more. I don't wish to see it. Show me no more.
The phantom slowly, gravely, silently approached. When it came near him, Scrooge bent down upon his knee, for in the very air through which this spirit moved, it seemed to scatter gloom and mystery. It was shrouded in a deep, black garment which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible save one outstretched hand. But for this it would have been different and difficult to detach its figure from the night and separate it from the darkness by which it was surrounded. He felt that it was tall and stately when it came beside him, and that its mysterious presence filled him with a solemn dread. He knew no more, for the spirit neither spoke nor moved.
Here I am in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You're about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened? But will happen in time before us? Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen. That as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me?
It gave him no reply. Its hand pointed straight before them.
Lead on! Lead on! The night is waning fast, and is precious to me, I know. Lead on, Spirit.
The phantom moved away as it had come toward him. Scrooge followed in the shadows of its dress, which bore him up and carried him along. They scarcely seemed to enter the city, for the city seemed to spring up about them and encompass them of its own act. But there they were, in the heart of it, among the merchants, who hurried up and down and chinked money in their pockets, and conversed in groups, and looked at their watches, and trifled thoughtfully with their great gold seals and so forth, as Scrooge had seen them oftentimes before. The spirit stopped beside one little knot of a businessman. Observing that the hand was pointed to them, Scrooge advanced and listened to their talk.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to the company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. It's likely to be a cheap funeral, for upon my life I don't know anybody to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
Well, I don't mind going if lunch is provided. I must be fed if I make one.
Well, I am the most disinterested among you. After all, for I never wear black gloves, and I never eat lunch. But I'll offer to go if anybody else will. When I come to think of it, I'm not sure that I wasn't his most particular friend, for we used to stop and speak whenever we met. Bye-bye. Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way now. Merciful heavens, now what is this?
He recoiled in terror, for the scene had changed, and now he almost touched a bed, a bare uncurtained bed, on which beneath a ragged sheet there lay something covered up. Scrooge glanced toward the phantom. Its steady hand was pointed to the head. The cover was so carelessly adjusted that the slightest raising of it, the motion of a finger on Scrooge's part, would have disclosed the face. He thought of it, felt how easy it would be to do, and longed to do it, but had no more power to withdraw the veil than to dismiss the specter at his side.
Spirit, this is a fearful place. I shall not leave its lesson. Trust me, let me go. I understand, but I have not the power to unveil the sheet. I have not the power. If there is any person in the town who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show that person to me. Spirit, I beseech you.
The ghost conducted him through several streets familiar to his feet, and as they went along, Scrooge looked here and there to find himself, but nowhere was he to be seen. They entered poor Bob Cratchit's house, the dwelling he had visited before, and found the mother seated at the fire, speaking to her loving husband, Bob.
Bob, I wish you could have gone, dear. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there on a Sunday. My little child. My little child.
Oh, Tim. Tim was such a good soul.
I know, my dear. But when we recollect on how patient and how mild he was, although he was a little child, we should not quarrel easily among ourselves and forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it.
No, never.
Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me what man that was whom we saw lying dead.
The spirit stopped. The hand pointed toward the churchyard. The churchyard, it was a worthy place, walled in by houses, overrun by grass and weeds, the growth of vegetation's death, not life. Choked up with too much bearing, fat with repleted appetite. a worthy place. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one. He advanced toward it, trembling. Scrooge dreaded that he saw no meaning in the spirit's solemn shape.
Before I draw nearer to the stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these shadows of the things that will be, or are they shadows of the things that may be? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends to which, if persevered in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me.
The spirit was immovable as ever, as Scrooge crept toward it, trembling as he went, following the specter's pointed finger.
Am I that man that lay upon the bed?
All right, John.
No, spirit. Oh, no, no, spirit. Hear me? I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been. Why show me this if I'm past all hope? Good spirit, your nature intercedes for me and pities me. Assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. Spirit, I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
In his agony, he caught the specter's hand. It sought to free itself, but he was strong and detained it. The spirit, stronger yet, repulsed him. Holding up his hands in the last prayer to leave his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. Yes, and the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own to make amends in.
I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirit of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. Oh, my bed curtains, they are not torn down. They are here, rings and all. I am here. The shadows of the things that would have been may be dispelled. They will be. I know they will.
In a flailing fit of glee, Scrooge ran to the window. He opened it and put out his head. No fog, no mist, clear, bright, and jovial, stirring cold, piping for the blood to dance to. Golden sunlight, heavenly sky, sweet fresh air, and merry bells.
What is today?
Aye?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, sir, it's Christmas Day, sir.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the poultry shop, the one around the corner?
I should hope I did.
Ah, an intelligent boy. A rather remarkable boy. Do you know if they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What? The one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck.
Well, it's hanging there now, sir.
It is? Go and buy it. I'm in earnest. Tell them to bring it here. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
Oh, boy. Right back with you, sir.
I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He shouldn't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
The hand in which he wrote the address was not a steady one, but write it he did somehow, and went downstairs to open the street door, ready for the coming of the poultry man. As he stood there, he thought softly to himself,
I shall love Christmas as long as I shall live. Oh, dear, here comes the turkey. How are you? Merry Christmas. Send this turkey with best regards to Mr. Bob Cratchit. Thank you, thank you.
With his hat and coat on, Ebenezer Scrooge set out for the Cratchit family gathering. With his mind on what to expect, he accidentally stumbled into a Yuletide patron, making his way to the poorhouse.
Oh, so sorry, old man. So clumsy of me.
Oh, not at all. It was my fault entirely.
Mr. Scrooge?
Do I know you?
I was in your office last evening.
Oh, yes, of course. How do you do? A very Merry Christmas to you, sir.
You are Mr. Scrooge, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am. Allow me to ask your pardon. Here, take this monetary contribution.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Oh, if you please, not a farthing less.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Say nothing. Thank you. Much obliged. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I give you Mr. Scrooge, founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast on.
My dear, Christmas Day.
Oh, I'll drink to Christmas Day, but not to the likes of him. Long life to him. A very Merry Christmas to him.
Let us do justice to this delightful day and this delightful bird. Oh, such a beautiful bird. I still wonder who could have sent it. Now, who could that be?
Father Christmas? More likely some beggar that smelled our turkey, Tim.
If it is, he shall have some.
Cratchit, what are you doing home when you should be working?
But, sir, it's Christmas Day.
Now, let me tell you, my friend, I'm not going to stand this sort of thing any longer. Therefore, I'm about to raise your salary.
What? Huh?
Merry Christmas, Bob. Merry Christmas, my good fellow.
Oh, thank you, sir.
A toast. A toast to Christmas. And God bless all of you.
God bless us, everyone.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good as a friend, as good a master, and as good as a man as the city ever knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good, at which some people did not have their fill of laughter in the outset. And knowing that such as these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes to grins, as have the malady in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with the spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle even afterward. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, every one. Thank you for listening. The cast members included Craig Scott, John Harrington, Bob Lesh, John Wilkinson, Mike Walker, Steve Anderson, and yours truly, Donovan. We all wish you a Merry Christmas.
KTKK.